So I'm driving home in a trailer I just bought. So I guess today, February 2nd, 2026, I guess this is official that I've started my junk removal business. I've been doing this, planning this kind of in the background for a few weeks. So I still have a full-time job. We'll see what happens with that. And you know, I might lose this job here in the next little bit. Not really my choice. So that's why I'm starting a junk removal business. You know, I guess the biggest thing is because I guess I don't want to work for anybody else, and I want something that's mine. I'm not afraid of hard work. You know, I've been working hard, and loving getting to work hard. Since I was 19, I started my first career at 19. I was a substance abuse counselor for 20 years, and I worked with young people, and it was amazing. And it just became clear that it was my time to move on. And then I've got my current job right now, and then I'm launching this. So this is my junk removal journey. That's what I'm going to try and name this channel. You know, so we'll see if that name's already taken, because it's a pretty good name. I'm normally really not good at coming up with names, but that just came to me. So that's it. Yeah, I'm just driving this trailer. I bought it used. So this is I think it's maybe 6.5 feet wide and 12 feet long. The trailer's from 2009. And it was used by one of the counties up here where I live in North Georgia. And I think it was used for recycling. There's a bunch of old recycling badges all over it. So that's kind of the nice thing. You know, the guy I bought it from the county. He bought 4 of them. And he was saying that you could tell that they were never overloaded because, you know, they just carried aluminum. And I could see that because it's, like I said, there's 4-foot tall mesh sides. You can see through some of the mesh sides that there's, you know, cardboard, you know, kind of still stuck in it. So it's good. It wasn't, you know, filled with a bunch of junk like I'm going to be filling it with. So this is me getting going. I haven't even landed a job yet. So I officially got general liability insurance today. I got commercial auto insurance today, and then I picked up this trailer today. And then yesterday, I just started seeing about getting jobs. I'm still waiting on my Google business profile. It's been, I guess, officially 6 business days. And I've heard that it can take longer than that to get approved. So yeah, so that's the next thing I'm waiting on, is doing that, is getting that going. And what I've been doing to try and land some jobs, and it's not original, this is all stuff that I've watched some other YouTubers talk about, is I've been trolling Facebook Marketplace and Nextdoor and looking up all the things that, you know, you would look up, you know, whether it's people trying to get rid of furniture that you can tell has been sitting, and, you know, whether it's a big sectional couch or that you can tell they were trying to sell for a few $100 that, you know, it has the slash through and now says free. I'm looking up in the search bar, you know, stuff like need gone. Looking up estate sales, garage sales, things like that. I know there weren't any garage sales in my area yesterday or over this last weekend, because we just had, you know, a decent amount of snow for Georgia. So that's my plan, is I'm just going to be trolling those. And out of if I had to guess, I probably sent about 30 messages to people, whether it was Nextdoor, a combination of Nextdoor and Marketplace. And I heard back from a handful of people, and whether it's people saying no thanks or whatever, I do have a couple people that may be interested, that they say they're going to follow up with me. I mean, I'm by no means holding my breath on that. But I'm going to follow up, because that's what you do. And I'm also not trying to do stuff for free just to get Google reviews. I mean, I'll do that with friends. But I also don't want to right off the bat go pay to do jobs. You know, like if I'm driving somewhere within a 30-mile radius, I'm not gonna do it for something for $100 where I'm paying to do a job. But I will start off with like a lower price point, you know, until I can get a reputation. So the thing I'm grateful for now is that I still have a full-time job. You know, that I'm not starting this, you know, without a safety net. You know, so I know there are plenty of people that are doing stuff like this without a safety net because they have to. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Again, we'll see what happens with my full-time job. You know, I guess I see there being potential for, you know, if I'm able to do my full-time job part-time and I'm able to do junk removal part-time as well. In addition to that, that would be great. So yeah, I'm just kind of learning and figuring it out. So yeah, the other thing I'm kind of figuring out right now too is kind of how to drive a trailer. Going straight is pretty easy, but you know, I'm gonna have to learn how to back it up and do all that fun stuff. Probably sometime here this week, I'm gonna take it out at night and go see if I can practice driving backwards in reverse in a parking lot or something. Because I know I'm gonna be having to deal with going up steep driveways and maybe some narrow spaces. So I definitely want to become proficient in that, and I'd like to be able to get some practice in before I'm pulling up to somebody's house and backing in. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous, of course. You know, when I first got my driver's license, I was nervous to drive, and I think anybody that's not is either dumb or entirely too cocky. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous driving this trailer. I'm nervous driving around with a truck and a trailer full of stuff. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I want to be safe. You know, so my plan is I'm just going to take my time, and I'm going to drive slow. And if it makes people driving behind me go nuts, that's okay. I'm going to take my time loading stuff. I'm going to take my time unloading stuff. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to hurt somebody's, I don't want to damage anybody's property. I don't want to accidentally clip a mailbox because I'm trying to rush to the next job. I want to build a solid foundation, and I don't know where this comes from. You know, maybe it's in some of the, you know, special operators, like in the teams, but you know, I've heard, you know, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, or I might be getting that wrong, but it's something like that. And if I'm saying it right, I mean, I at least kind of have an understanding of what I think that means, you know. So for a little bit before you go fast, you got to go slow. So yeah, I'm excited for this junk removal journey. It sounds like there's a lot of people out there that are doing really well doing it, and that's awesome. And I'm a big fan, and I'm a big believer in abundance, that there's enough out there for everybody, and there's enough people that can have success. So I also believe that I don't need to step on anybody's toes. I don't need to be a jerk about being competitive with other people out there. You know, I'd be happy to, you know, turn jobs over to other people that I'm not comfortable with. At some point, as I get to know the other players out there, I'd be happy to make some referrals to people that I'm comfortable with and that I believe in. And I would hope other people would do the same. And that's not because, you know, I'm this like super good guy. It's, you know, in order for me to live comfortably in my own skin, that's the way I need to live. So, yeah, what a trip. I did not see myself being in a situation where I would be in the junk removal business. If somebody told me this a month ago or 6 weeks ago, I I would have been like, yeah, I don't think so. I'm good right where I am. But, you know, you just don't know what you don't know. And it's funny, you know, in a good way or in a bad way, because I've had both, but everything can change in an instant. Your whole life can change in an instant. And, you know, I guess this hasn't been an instant, but in some ways it kind of has. So, yeah, I'm just pulling in to my driveway right now, and this is where I learned how to back up. So this is it for me. Awesome. See ya.